from Surah Yunus to this Surah Al-Anbiya. These are 12 surahs and subdivided into 4 subgroups of 3 surahs. Surah Yunus, Surah Hud, Surah Yusuf, one subgroup. Surah Ra'd, Surah Ibrahim, Surah Hijr, second subgroup. Surah Al-Nahl, Surah Bani Israel, Surah Al-Kahf, third group. Surah Maryam, Surah Taha, Surah Al-Anbiya, fourth group.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام را تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم أكان للناس عجبا أن أوحينا إلى رجل منهم أن أنذر الناس وبشر الذين آمنوا أن لهم قدم صدق عند ربهم قال الكافرون إن هذا لساحر مبين صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. By the grace of Allah and with His name we are beginning our study of Surah Yunus. But before we begin with the text of this surah, please note 2 points. Number 1, this place is the meeting place of 2 blessing things. Qiranus Sa'dain. I told you 2 types of groupings among the surahs. The Ahzab or the Manazil for facilitating the Muslims to complete their recitation of the whole Quran in 1 week. So 7 parts, having full surahs. So here we are beginning with the 3rd manzil. First manzil or Hizb, Surah Al-Fatiha, then Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Nisa. Then the second started, it had 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah Al-An'am, Surah Al-A'raf, Surah Al-Anfal, Surah Al-Tawbah. So two Ahzab completed. Third is starting with Surah Yunus. The second type of grouping of Makki Madani. The first one consists of Surah Al-Fatiha as Makki and then 4 Madani surahs. The second, 2 Makkis, Al-An'am, Wal-Araf, and 2 Madanis, 2 Al-Anfal and At-Tawbah. They also completed with Surah At-Tawbah. And here the 3rd group is starting. So this is the meeting place of these 2 groupings of the surahs. Qiranus Sa'dain. Now this 3rd group, which is starting from Surah Yunus, it has 14 surahs Makki. Only 1, that is Surah An-Nur, this Madani. It's one of the longest groups of Makki Madani surahs. The more peculiar thing about this group of Makki surahs is there are small groups, subgroups of 3 surahs. 2 of them, they are in pairs. They are, similar to each other, reciprocal to each other, and they go to make a pair. 3rd one is Munfarid, peculiar, individual. So there are, subgroups comprising of 3 surahs. Surah Yunus, Surah Hud, they go to make a pair. Then Surah Yusuf, it's a very peculiar surah in the whole of the Quran. It only gives the story of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam from the very beginning till the end. It's very peculiar. Then second group, Surah Al-Ra'd, Surah Ibrahim, they go to make a pair. But then Surah Al-Hijr is absolutely different in style. And so on. We shall see this thing, as we progress. But these 3 points must be noted. Number 1, with Surah Yunus begins the 3rd manzil or Hizb and also the 3rd Makki Madani surahs group. And the 14 surahs of this group, which are Makki, they are subdivided into subgroups comprising each of 3 surahs, except the last one. Now as for this first group, Surah Yunus and Surah Hud, both, the names are of 2 messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One thing is similar to them in their names. Another thing, the 6 surahs now, they will have Alif Lam Ra. 5 Alif Lam Ra, 1 Alif Lam Mim Ra. So this is going to be the alphabets, starting alphabets of these surahs. Now both these surahs, they are named on the names of 2 messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now what is the reciprocal ratio between these two? You will find the Surah Yunus has total 11 rukus. Out of those, only 2, they consist of Amba'ur Rusul, the stories of the messengers. Just the reverse in Surah Hud. It consists of 10 rukus, and more than 6, they consist of Amba'ur Rusul, the important news of the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, in Surah Yunus we will find Hazrat Nuh discussed only in half ruku, and 1.5 devoted to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. You will find the reverse in Surah Hud. Hazrat Nuh has 2 rukus, and Hazrat Musa is only just mentioned. So the reverse, or the converse ratio proportion, reciprocal. So this is a sign of their being in pairs. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, Alif Lam Ra. These are huruf muqatta'at. These are pronounced separately, and so they are the broken into pieces. Not pronounced as Alif Lam Mim Alam, no. Alif Lam Mim. Alif Lam Ra Alar, no. Alif La Ra. Now the meanings of these broken alphabets, exact meanings we don't know. There are conjectures from some of the scholars, but I don't have time to, mention them here. What is agreed upon by all the scholars is that no sure and definite meanings are known to us. It's a sort of secret between Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tilka ayatul kitabil hakim. These are the ayat of a book full of wisdom, or a book which is fortified and mature. Ha, kaf, mim, this root comes for something which is strong. Istihkam, mustahkam, something which is strong. So Kitabul Hakim, this book is very strong. This is fortified. La yatihi al-batilu min bayni yadayhi wala min khalfihi. Falsehood cannot attack it, neither from the front nor from the back. So it is a strong, fortified book. And the other meanings, that it is book of wisdom. Akana linnasi ajaban an awayna ila rajulun minhum. Has this thing become very wondering and strange to the people that we have sent revelation to a man from among themselves, and anzirin nas, that warn the people, wa bashiril mu'minin, and give glad tidings to the believers, anna lahum qadama sidqin inda rabbihim, that for them there is a very sure footing with their Lord. Qala al-kafiruna inna hadha la sahirun mubin. This appeared to be very strange to them. They are wondering, and these unbelievers, they said, these disbelievers, rejectors, verily it is a clear sorcerer. He is a clear sorcerer or a magician. Inna rabbakumullahu alladhi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda fi sittati ayyam. This subject is repeated in the Quran many times. Verily, your Lord is Allah, who created all the heaven and the earth in 6 days. Summa stawa ala al-arsh. Then He mounted the throne. Yudabbirul amr, ordaining the affairs. Ma min shafi'in illa min ba'di izni. There is no intercessor except after His permission. Zalikumullahu rabbukum. That is Allah, your Lord. Such is Allah, your Lord. Such is the high position of Allah, your Lord. Fa'buduh. So, take ibadah to Him, subserve Him, love Him, obey Him, worship Him. Afala tazakkarun. So, don't you get reminded? Don't you have all the testimony of this within your souls? And are you not reminded? إِلَيْهِ مَرْجِعُكُمْ جَمِيعًا. To him is your return, all of you. وَعَدَ اللَّهِ حَقًّا. This is a promise of Allah which is binding on him. لَيَجْمَعَنَّكُمْ إِلَىٰ يَوْمٍ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. So it is actually a binding promise on Allah. إِنَّهُ يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ. It is He who originates the life, who originates the creation, and then He repeats. لَيَجْزِيَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. And He will repeat this creation. Why? So that He rewards those who come to believe and who do good deeds bil-qist. This reward should be with full justice. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَهُمْ شَرَابٌ حَمِيمٌ شَرَابٌ مِّنْ حَمِيمٍ. And for those who reject, who disbelieve, for them will be drink of boiling water. وَعَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْفُرُونَ. And very painful torment due to the kufr that they were doing, they have been doing. هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ ضِيَاءً. It is He who made the sun shining, وَالْقَمَرَ نُورًا. And He made the moon a light. وَقَدَّرَهُ مَنَازِلَ. And He has fixed for it, measured out stages for the moon, so that you must know the number of the years. لِتَعْلَمُوا عَدَدَ السِّنِينَ وَالْحِسَابِ. And actually for this, one, moon's cycle goes to make 1 month, then it makes 1 year, and so you form the calendar. وَالْحِسَابِ. And reckoning of time. مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. Allah has not created all these things, but with a definite design and a definite purpose. يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. And He is explaining His revelations. He details His revelations for those who know or who want to know. إِنَّ فِي اخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ وَمَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَّقُونَ. Verily, in the alternation of night and day, and whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in the heaven and the earth, there are signs, لِقَوْمٍ يَتَّقُونَ, for those who have some fear of God in them, who have some, moral sense in them, who have some sense of responsibility in them. So all these things, they are signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The heavens, the earth, the sun, the moon. Very profound ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ وَالْفُلْكِ الَّتِي تَجْرِي فِي الْبَحْرِ بِمَا يَنْفَعُ النَّاسَ وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَّاءٍ فَأَحْيَا بِهِ الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ وَتَصْرِيفِ الرِّيَاحِ وَالسَّحَابِ الْمُسَخَّرِ بَيْنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. All these physical phenomena, they are signs. Signs of Allah's greatness, signs of His omnipotence, signs of His complete knowledge, signs of His complete wisdom. إِنَّ فِي اخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ وَمَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَّقُونَ. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. This term, يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا, this is very, so to say, key word of this surah. It will be repeated many a times. Those who don't hope to meet us, if they have some sense that they will come to us one day, it is something else. For them, the gates and the ways and paths of guidance will be opened. But those who have no sense, no idea that they will meet their Lord, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا وَرَضُوا بِالْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. And they became contented with the life of this world. People feel, whose souls are alive, they feel that this doesn't appear to be all. There must be something else. A thirst in their souls for something else. This is appearance. There seems to be some reality behind it. So these people whose souls are alive, in them their spirits have not died. They have a feeling within them, a thirst. That is why. Why did the people go to the woods to the jungles, to the deserts. Why this siyaha? Why this rahbaniyah? Going to the caves, meditating over there, and putting all the hardships on them. Why? Because there is a thirst in the human soul that it knows someone has created us, and I want to be nearer and nearer to him. So all these people, and because this is the universal phenomenon, west, east, everywhere, you find these people. So this is a proof that there is some yearning, some incentive in man, some thirst, something that he wants to love and know. Inna alladhina la yarjuna liqana. As for those who don't have any such urge, وَرَضُوا بِالْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا, and they are fully contented and satisfied with this world. They are fully engrossed. They are totally lost in this world. وَاتْمَنُّوا بِهَا, they are very fully satisfied with it. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا غَافِلُونَ, and those who don't pay any heed to our signs and symbols. أُولَٰئِكَ مَأْوَاهُمُ النَّارُ, they are they, the abode of whom will be fire. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ, because of what they had been earning. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, on the contrary, those who believe and do good deeds, يَهْدِيهِمْ رَبُّهُمْ بِإِيمَانِهِمْ, their Lord will take them and lead them to the place. Which place? Due to their iman, due to their belief, due to their faith. تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهِمُ الْأَنْهَارُ, the place that underneath them the rivers will be flowing. فِي جَنَّاتٍ النَّعِيمٍ, and those are the jannat, or the gardens of bliss. دَعْوَاهُمْ فِيهَا سُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ, their prayer therein will be سُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ, O Allah, be thou glorified. وَتَحِيَّتُهُمْ فِيهَا سَلَامٌ, and their greetings in that Jannah will be salam. Assalamu alaikum. وَآخِرُ دَعْوَاهُمْ أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, and the last of their prayer would be, the ending words of their prayer would be, وَآخِرُ دَعْوَاهُمْ أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, all praise be to Allah, who is the Lord of all the worlds. These are the words often repeated by, scholars who are delivering a sermon or a lecture on religious subject. Then they say in the end, آخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Whatever we have said, in the end, our prayer is to Lord, and that is أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. وَلَوْ يُعَجِّلُ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ شَرَّ اسْتِعْجَالِهِمْ, if Allah was to hasten unto mankind the ill that they earn, شَرَّ اسْتِعْجَالِهِمْ لِلْخَيْرِ بِالْخَيْرِ, the way they want to have very soon the good, لَقُضِيَ إِلَيْهِمْ أَجَلُهُمْ, their, fixed time must have been concluded by now. Man wants that he should get everything good very soon, very soon, very soon. But actually he is earning something which is bad for him. If Allah also hastens to reward him, he would have been finished by now. وَلَوْ يُعَجِّلُ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ الشَّرَّ اسْتِعْجَالَهُمْ بِالْخَيْرِ, the way they want good to come to them early, if Allah sends to them the result of their their ill deeds with the same speed, they would have been finished by this time. لَقُضِيَ إِلَيْهِمْ أَجَلُهُمْ فَنَذَرُ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا, again the same verse. So we shall leave these people who don't hope to meet us. فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ, we shall leave them in their advancing in their rebellion blindly. وَإِذَا مَسَّ الْإِنسَانَ الضُّرُّ دَعَانَا لِجَنبِهِ أَوْ قَاعِدًا أَوْ قَائِمًا, and when some affliction touches the man, he calls upon us, prays to us, da'ana لِجَنبِهِ, lying on his side, أَوْ قَاعِدًا, or when he is sitting, أَوْ قَائِمًا, or standing. In every condition he prays, oh Allah, please deliver me from this. Please take this ill thing from me, this affliction from me. فَلَمَّا كَشَفْنَا عَنْهُ ضُرَّهُ, and when we have Have we removed this affliction? When we have removed this affliction from him, marra kallam yad'una ila durrim masra. Then he passes by as if he never had prayed to us for any affliction that had come to him. He just forgets that I had been praying, so much to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But now because that distress is gone, affliction is removed, so he just forgets. كَذَلِكَ زُيِّنَ لِلْمُسْرِفِينَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. In this way, for these people, the aggressors who exceed the limits, musrifin, their deeds have been made beautiful. وَلَقَدْ أَهْلَكْنَا الْقُرُونَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَمَّا ظَلَمُوا. And we destroyed so many generations before you because of their transgression. This is, a reference to Qawm Hud, Qawm Saleh, Qawm Nuh, etc. وَجَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُهُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. To them came their messengers with clear teachings, clear signs, clear miracles. وَمَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا. But they were not to believe. Whatever signs were shown to them, they were never to believe. كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْقَوْمَ الْمُجْرِمِينَ. And in this way, we recompense and reward the criminals, those who are guilty. ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ خَلَائِفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. After them, we made you the vicegerents on earth. مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ. After them. لِنَنْظُرَ كَيْفَ تَعْمَلُونَ. So that we see how do you behave. This mode of expression appeared before also. فَيَنْظُرَ كَيْفَ تَعْمَلُونَ. فَنَنْظُرَ كَيْفَ تَعْمَلُونَ. Here it is. We shall see now what do you do. Now you have been placed at the helm of affairs. We delivered you, O Pakistani Muslims, from the Britishers and the Hindus. Now we are seeing what you are doing. نَنْظُرَ كَيْفَ تَعْمَلُونَ. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُنَا بَيِّنَاتٍ. And when our clear and shining ayat are recited unto them, revelations, قَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. Again the third. I will emphasizing time and again that this iman bil akhirah is most crucial. If it is there, howsoever weak it is, if it is there, you can hope that the man, will be guided. Not if not now immediately, at some later time. But if he doesn't have any idea of akhirah, so you just forget about him. He is not going to pay any heed to whatever, teachings or whatever preachings you do to him. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُنَا بَيِّنَاتٍ قَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا ائْتِ بِقُرْآنٍ غَيْرِ هَذَا. O Muhammad, bring some other Quran. This Quran is not acceptable to us. It's too rigid. We can't accept it. ائْتِ بِقُرْآنٍ غَيْرِ هَذَا. If you bring another Quran which is not so rigid, no strict, then maybe we accept it. أَوْ بَدِّلْهُ. Or you may changes in it. You may make changes in it. There must be some amendments. As such, it is not acceptable to us. It's too rigid, too demanding. قَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا ائْتِ بِقُرْآنٍ غَيْرِ هَذَا أَوْ بَدِّلْهُ. قُلْ مَا يَكُونُ لِي أَنْ أُبَدِّلَهُ مِنْ تِلْقَاءِ نَفْسِي. Tell them, it's not possible for me to change it, to amend it from my own, on my own. إِنَّ الطَّبِعِ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. Now this is the position of the Prophet himself. I follow whatever is revealed to me. I am myself subservient to it. I have to follow it. I have to observe it myself. It is not my own imagination. I am not the author. Had I been the author, I could have amended it. It is being revealed to me, and I myself have to observe it. إِنْ أَتَّبِعُ إِلَّا مَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ إِنِّي أَخَافُ إِنْ عَصَيْتُ رَبِّي عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. Even I fear from my Lord the chastisement and the punishment of the mighty day if I also disobey him. قُلْ لَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا تَلَوْتُهُ. Tell them, had Allah willed so, I would not have recited this Quran unto you. Because He has made me to do it. I am forced to do it. It's my duty to do it. وَمَا تَلَوْتُهُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَلَا أَدْرَاكُمْ بِهِ. Nor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made you known, had made it known to you. فَقَدْ لَبِسْتُ فِيكُمْ عُمَرًا مِّن قَبْلِهِ. I have lived among you a whole life. 40 years of my life passed with you. Was I a poet? Did I ever try to become an orator? Was I practicing, something, some, rahbaniyah, and going out and so getting some teachings and instructions from some holy people? Have you ever seen me going to any rabbis or any of the priests or the sorcerers? Have you seen any such thing with me? فَقَدْ لَبِسْتُ فِيكُمْ عُمَرًا مِّن قَبْلِ. I have lived among you the whole life. 40 years is a full life. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Don't you think and don't you understand? فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَىٰ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا أَوْ كَذَّبَ بِآيَاتِهِ. This ayah has come repeatedly. Who is more evildoer, more transgressor, than who concocts something and attributes it to Allah? If he is himself forging, composing something and says it is from Allah, he is the biggest criminal. And in the same way, أَوْ كَذَّبَ بِآيَاتِهِ. The person who is rejecting or belying the revelations of Allah, real revelations, he is also among the most cruel. إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. And such, criminals will not prosper, will not be successful. وَيَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ. And they worship besides Allah or leaving Allah those deities who can't do any harm to them, nor they can bring any benefit for them. لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ. وَيَقُولُونَ هَؤُلَاءِ شُفَعَاؤُنَا عِندَ اللَّهِ. This is very important. That was the basic shirk of those mushrikeen of Arabia. It's not that they didn't believe in Allah. They had all the belief in Allah. We find in Quran so many times. وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. If you ask them, who created the heavens and the earth? They will surely say, Allah. So they believed in Allah. Only along with Allah they believed in small goddesses. And they thought they are very dear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so if they intercede, we will be saved due to their intercession. That was the main shirk that they were committing. And now see, are we not committing the same shirk? How many Muslims are not committing it? So actually, only the outward form has changed. The essence is the same. The same mistake, the same wrong path. Form has changed. Essence is the same. وَيَقُولُونَ هَؤُلَاءِ شُفَعَاؤُنَا عِندَ اللَّهِ. And they say, these deities, these gods and goddesses, they are our intercessors with Allah. قُلْ أَتُنَبِّئُونَ اللَّهَ بِمَا لَا يَعْلَمُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَلَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Very beautiful. And in human affairs, when you intercede to somebody about somebody, what do you say? The facts on the file are somewhat different, but I know that the real case is something else. If you go to a judge, the facts on the file are different. But I know this person is not a culprit. He has not committed this crime. But can anybody tell this to Allah? That I know more than you? So how can there be an intercession? There's no basis for intercession. He knows everything more than you. He knows everything more than anybody else. So can anybody go and say to him, oh, he is a different person, please, I know him. Who are you to say that? قُلْ أَتُنَبِّئُونَ اللَّهَ بِمَا لَا يَعْلَمُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَلَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. You want to tell Allah that He doesn't know in all the heavens and the earth? Subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yushrikun. Glory to Him, and most exalted is He from all these associations that they have concocted. Amma yushrikun. It's much higher, much exalted. وَمَا كَانَ النَّاسُ إِلَّا أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً فَاخْتَلَفُوا. This is again a very important, the philosophy of history according to Quran. The general philosophy of history today you have that, the human beings were absolutely illiterate, absolutely ignorant, they knew nothing, they were worshipping everything, the plants and everything, the snakes, whatever they found can harm them, they started worshipping them. And whatever they thought, it's beneficial to us, well, sun gives us the heat and all these things, our crops, they ripen due to the sun, so they just, they bowed before the sun and prostrated. So as if, the human race started with ignorance. This is absolutely contrary to the fact. The history of human race started with light. The first human was a prophet himself, Hazrat Adam. First human, and the same person, the prophet of Allah. So the start of the human race was with guidance, not the wrong paths. Kanan naso, mama kanan naso illa ummatam wahida. In the beginning, all humanity was one community. That community was on Tawheed. Fakhtalafu. Afterwards they differed. This is the basis of a philosophy, the correct basis of a philosophy, which is termed Wahdatul Adyan. This is correct in this sense, that the origin of all religions is the same. Started from the one stem, but then they branched out. Judaism went there, Christianity went there. In the same way, Hinduism went there somewhere else. Otherwise, it is just impossible that there was no guided people in India. They were also, prophets were sent to that region also. There can be no region where prophets were not sent. They were also on the right path in the beginning, but actually all this branching has taken place from the one stem of that tree of guidance. وَمَا كَانَ النَّاسُ إِلَّا أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً فَاخْتَلَفُوا وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. Had there been not decision about the period of testing, for every ummah we have fixed a period of testing. لَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ. Had that decision not been made earlier, مِنْ رَبِّكَ لَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ فِيمَا فِيهِ يَخْتَلِفُونَ. It would have been decided about all the differences. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has fixed a limit. Till that doomsday, okay. Hindus going which way you like, you can go. Jews, which way you have selected for yourself, well, go ahead. So this is the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this world for testing. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. This choice and freedom has been given to humanity. So whichever way they like, they can go. وَيَقُولُونَ لَوْلَا أُنْزِلَ عَلَيْهِ آيَةٌ مِّن رَبِّهِ. The same thing which we have been reading in Surah An'am and Surah Al-Araf. And they say, why has not been some miracle sent on him? Some clear miracle. Ayah. Ayah here means miracle, sign. فَقُلْ إِنَّمَا الْغَيْبُ لِلَّهِ فَانْتَظِرُوا. Tell them all the unseen is in the hands of Allah. He can send the miracle whenever he like, but if he doesn't like, but I don't have the power to show you the miracle. Clear. فَانْتَظِرُوا. So, wait. إِنِّي مَعَكُمْ مِنَ الْمُنْتَظِرِينَ. I am also with you waiting. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends a miracle. But if as we have seen in Surah Al-An'am, we are not going to show them those miracles. The only miracle is this Quran. Whosoever wants to take the guidance, he can have it from Quran. No physical signs, no physical, visible miracles will be shown. وَإِذَا أَذَقْنَا النَّاسَ رَحْمَةً مِّن بَعْدِ ضَرَّاءٍ مَسَّتْهُمْ إِذَا لَهُمْ مَكْرٌ فِي آيَاتِنَا. And when we make man taste of our mercy, after some infliction had touched him, when a man was in distress, he was diseased or something else, he was in distress, he was calling Allah and calling Allah and calling Allah. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has changed and he has made him taste his mercy. Now what he does, إِذَا لَهُمْ مَكْرٌ فِي آيَاتِنَا. They take to plotting against our revelations. Now they start. Instead of accepting our wahi, accepting our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now they are up and doing against our own revelations. قُلِ اللَّهُ أَسْرَعُ مَكْرًا. Tell them, Allah is much more swift in His plannings and His plottings. Inna rusulana yaktubuna ma tamkurun. Our messengers, that is the angels, are writing and recording what plannings and plottings you are doing. As we have read in Surah Al-Anfal, they were plotting whether we should imprison him, liyasbutuka, or liyaktuluka, or we should kill him, or we should expel him from Makkah. What should we do? All these things, our messengers, our angels, kiraman katibin, which every person, they are there and they are writing and recording what they are doing. هُوَ الَّذِي يُسَيِّرُكُمْ فِي الْبَحْرِ وَالْبَحْرِ. It is He who makes you travel, who makes the traveling easy for you in the land as well as the sea. حَتَّى إِذَا كُنْتُمْ فِي الْفُلْكِ. And when you are in a ship or a boat, وَجَرَيْنَ بِهِمْ بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ, and a very pleasant and fair breeze, it is going on with them. وَفَرِحُوا بِهَا, and they are rejoicing. Very favorable weather, a very favorable wind blowing, slow wind, breeze. جَاءَتْهَا رِيحٌ عَاصِفٌ. Suddenly, a stormy wind overcomes them. وَجَاءَهُمُ الْمَوْجُ مِنْ كُلِّ مَكَانٍ. And the waves are attacking them from all the sides. The wind waves are coming because the stormy winds have started. وَظَنُّوا أَنَّهُمْ أُحِيطَ بِهِمْ. And they think they have been circled. They feel that they have been encircled. Now the death is coming to them. دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. They now start praying on Allah and promising Him sincere and total obedience. Oh Allah, just deliver us from this, and then we shall worship you, and we shall, give all what that we have in alms and charities, and we will be very pious and righteous people. We shall lead, very simple life, everything, because now death was in front of them. لَإِنْ أَنْجَيْتَنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ لَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. If you deliver us and save us from this, then we shall become very pious and grateful people. فَلَمَّا أَنْجَاهُمْ. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delivered them, إِذَا هُمْ يَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ. Now they are insolent and rebellious in the land without any right that they have. يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ. O mankind, إِنَّمَا بَغْيُكُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ. All your rebellion against us is actually upon your own selves. You are ruining yourselves. You will be doomed. You will be thrown in the fire of hell. إِنَّمَا بَغْيُكُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ مَتَاعَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. And what is this? This life of this world is just, some material of enjoyment, temporary enjoyment. ثُمَّ إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُكُمْ. Then to us is your return. فَنُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. And then we shall inform everybody what he had been doing. إنما مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض مما يأكل الناس والأنعام. Verily, the similitude of this life, of this world, is like water which we send down from the sky. فاختلط به نبات الأرض. Then the vegetation of the earth mingles with it, comes out. مما يأكل الناس والأنعام, which is eaten by people as well as an'am, cattle. The land was lying dormant, no signs of life, no greenery, nothing of the sort. Rain falls. Now what was inherent in the earth, it has come out. The vegetation, the potential that was inherent in the land, it has come out. And from this, the animals as well as the humans, they are eating. حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذَتِ الْأَرْضُ زُخْرُفَهَا. Until when the earth puts on its ornaments and is adorned. Now, this vegetation, greenery. Now this earth is looking beautiful. Before that, it was barren. No beauty, no greenery. Now you might see flowers were there. A red flower, a yellow flower. So actually what has happened to this earth? Now this earth has become adorned. And it has actually, it has put on ornaments. حَتَّى إِذَا أَخَذَتِ الْأَرْضُ زُخْرُفَهَا. وَزَيَّنَتْ وَظَنَّ أَهْلُهَا أَنَّهُمْ قَادِرُونَ عَلَيْهَا. And its masters, they think that now they have all the power over it. Our harvest is ready, our crop is ready, and tomorrow we shall start harvesting. Now everything is with us. They are rejoicing. أَتَاهَا أَمْرُنَا لَيْلًا أَوْ نَهَارًا. Suddenly our command comes to this crop, either during the night or during the day. فَجَعَلْنَاهَا حَصِيدًا. And we make it as if it has been reaped already. No, they can't reap anything now, it is all gone. كَلَّمْ تَغْنَ بِالْأَمْسِ. As if it didn't even exist yesterday. This is what happened to the nations. They were just, destroyed as if كَلَّمْ يَغْنَوْ فِيهَا, as if they never lived here. Where are the Ad and the Samud? When the destruction from Allah came to them, they became as if they never lived here. كَذَلِكَ نُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. In this way, we detail our revelations for those people who ponder and who reflect. Now, what is the simile in it? Earth lying dead. Water comes. It becomes alive. The seeds were there in the earth. They sprout. The same way, after your death, you will be buried in the land. Your seed will be there. Command of Allah will come and you will come out. So actually, this is the life here and that will be the life hereafter. So there is a similarity. Wallahu yadu ila daris salam. And Allah is calling you towards the house of peace. Darus salam. Wa yahdi man yasha'u ila siratin mustaqim. And He guides whosoever likes or whomsoever He likes. I told you, this man yasha can go both ways. He guides whosoever likes to the right path, to the straight path. Who wants to go to right path, Allah guides him. And to whomsoever He likes, Allah guides him. So man yasha goes both ways. We usually think it is only on the side of Allah. It can be interpreted in that way also. Allah chooses whomsoever He likes, He leads him to the right path. But actually His condition is that you must also be intending to go to the right path. Only then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides you. So this is both ways. Wallahu yadu ila daris salam wa yahdi man yasha'u ila siratin mustaqim. He guides to the right path whomsoever he likes or whosoever likes to be guided. Lilladhina ahsanul husna. Those who are doing good deeds, for them is the best. Ahsanu husna. Husna is ahsan, oneness of ahsan, feminine of ahsan. Whosoever is doing good deeds, for him will be the best. Allah will reward more. It will be the best. Wasiyada. And He will increase. From His own bounty, He will add. وَلَا يَرْحَقُ وُجُوهُهُمْ قَتَرٌ وَلَا ذِلَّةٌ. And their faces will not be covered on the day of judgment by any ignominy, abasement, or any darkness. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ. They are the people of the garden, whom فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. And therein they will abide forever. وَالَّذِينَ كَسَبُوا السَّيِّئَاتِ. As for those who earned ill deeds, evils, جَزَاءُ سَيِّئَةٍ بِمِثْلِهَا. The reward or punishment of the ill deed is equal to the deed, not more. For hasana, yudaf, he will get better and more. But for sayya, the same amount. وَتَرْحَقُهُمْ ذِلَّةٌ. And humiliation will cover their faces. When they'll be standing before their lords, humiliation and abasement will appear from their faces. مَا لَهُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِنْ عَاصِمٍ. There will be none who could save them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. كَأَنَّمَا أُغْشِيَتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ قِطْعًا مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ مُظْلِمًا. And it will be as if their faces were covered with strips of night, pitch dark. أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. They are the people of the fire, and they will dwell in it forever. وَيَوْمَ نَحْشُرُهُمْ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ نَقُولُ لِلَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا مَكَانَكُمْ أَنْتُمْ وَشُرَكَاؤُكُمْ. And just remember and recall the day when we shall gather them all. And then we shall say to these people who associated others with me, with us, مَكَانَكُمْ مَنْتُمْ وَشُرَكَاؤُكُمْ. At your places, you and all those whom you worshipped, whom you associated with us. فَزَيَّلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ. And we shall split between them. No relationship should remain between them. وَقَالَ شُرَكَاؤُهُمْ مَا كُنْتُمْ إِيَّانَا تَعْبُدُونَ. And whom they had associated with Allah, they will say, proclaim, oh no, you were not worshipping us. Don't blame us. Don't make us ashamed in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you were forbidding, you were worshipping us. Now who are they? The angels. The mushrikeen of Arab thought the angels are the daughters of Allah. And they had made their deities in the feminine names. Lat, Uzza, Manat. Christians think Jesus is son of Allah. And he is the intercessor. Whosoever believes in him, all his sins, they are pardoned and condoned. In the same way, the prophets, then awliya Allah, the saints, they will intercede. They show reverence to them. They go to their graves. They go round about their graves and so on. They are doing it. All these will say, no, no, no. We are free from you. We are kept absolutely free from you. They will disown them. فَزَيَّلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ وَقَالَ شُرَكَاؤُهُمْ مَا كُنْتُمْ إِيَّانَا تَعْبُدُونَ. No, you were not worshipping us. كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمْ. Allah is sufficient as a witness between you and us. إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ عِبَادَتِكُمْ لَغَافِلِينَ. We were absolutely ignorant that you were worshipping us. We never knew. Jesus would say it. Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani would say it. I never knew you are calling me to help you. I never knew. So this is actually which is given here. وَيَوْمَ نَحْشَرُهُمْ جَمِيعًا ثُمَّ نَقُولُ لِلَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا مَكَانَكُمْ أَنْتُمْ وَشُرَكَاؤُكُمْ فَزَيَّلْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ وَقَالَ شُرَكَاؤُهُمْ مَا كُنْتُمْ إِيَّانَا تَعْبُدُونَ فَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمْ إِن كُنَّا عَنْ عِبَادَتِكُمْ لَغَافِلِينَ. We were absolutely ignorant of your worship. هُنَالِكَ تَبْلُو كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا أَسْلَفَتْ. At that time, every soul will be acquainted fully of what she had sent for itself. وَرُدُّوا إِلَى اللَّهِ مَوْلَاهُمُ الْحَقِّ. And they will be returned to Allah, their Lord, the true Lord. وَضَلَّ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَفْتَرُونَ. And all the concoctions and all the forgery and all these, shirk that they were doing, it will just vanish away. Just go with the wind. It will just disappear. قُلْ مَنْ يَرْزُقُكُمْ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Now these are those questions. Ask them, who gives you provisions and food from the sky as well as from the land? Water comes and land gives its vegetation. So you are being fed, you are being provided from both the sides. أَمَّنْ يَمْلِكُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ. Or who is the one who controls your seeing and hearing, all these faculties? They are control of whom? وَمَنْ يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ. And who is that who takes out from the dead living thing? This land was dead. Plants are living. They are coming out from the dead. Don't you see it? مَنْ يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ. Land was dead. And living plants coming out of it. وَيُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتَ مِنَ الْحَيِّ. And he is who brings out dead from the living. وَمَنْ يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرِ. And who is ordaining all these affairs, controlling all these affairs, administering all these affairs? فَسَيَقُولُونَ اللَّهُ. They will say, surely all these things belong to Allah. He is al-fa'il al-haqiqi. La fa'ila fil haqiqati. Wa la muwassira illa Allah. That was the advice given by Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani to his son, the departing advice. Oh, my son, keep it in mind. There is no who can do anything fil haqiqa. Nothing which can have any effect fil haqiqa. Illallah. No effect in anything. No power to do anything in anyone without Allah's permission. La quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La fa'ila fil haqiqati. It appears that I have lifted this, but really it's not me. I intended to do it, but actually Allah made me lift it. So He is lifting. So actually, fa'il fil haqiqa is only Allah. That is why, in our aqidah dogma, we say, al-insanu kasibul a'mal, wal khaliqul a'mal huwa Allah. Man is the earner of the deeds due to his intentions. But no action can be created by man. Creator of all the actions is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are kasibs only, we earn due to our intentions. If the intention is good, we are to be rewarded. If the intentions are bad, we will be brought to the book, we will be punished. But we can't do anything on our own. It's not in our powers, beyond our powers. فَذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ فَقُلْ أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Then why don't you save yourself? Don't have taqwa of Allah. When you admit that all these things are being done by Allah. فَذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمُ الْحَقِّ. So such is your Allah, your Lord, the true Lord. فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ. So after truth, beyond truth, what is there? Except error. فَأَنَّا تُصْرَفُونَ. So where are you being turned away? كَذَلِكَ حَقَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ فَسَقُوا. Thus has the word of your Lord proved true against these who transgress. أَنَّهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. That they will not come to believe. قُلْ هَلْ مِنْ شُرَكَائِكُمْ مَنْ يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ. The same things being repeated. Ask them, is there anyone from amongst your associates whom you are associating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who originates the creation and then repeat? قُلِ اللَّهُ يَبْدَأُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ. Allah does it. Allah originates and then repeats. فَأَنَّىٰ تُؤْفَكُونَ. From where are you being perverted? قُلْ هَلْ مِنْ شُرَكَائِكُمْ مَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ. Ask them, is there any associate of yours who can guide to the right path, who can guide to the truth? قُلِ اللَّهُ يَهْدِي لِلْحَقِّ. Tell them, it's only Allah who guides to the truth. أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُتَّبَعَ أَمَّنْ لَا يَهِدِّي إِلَّا أَنْ يُهْدَى. Now ask them, is that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who guides to the truth, more rightful, more deserving that he should be followed, and yuttaba, amman la yahdi, or the one who cannot have the guidance himself, illa yuhda, unless he is guided. All the creatures need guidance. Muhammad needed guidance, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa wajadaka dhallan fahada. Who guided him? Allah found you, that you were searching the truth. You wanted to know the truth. You were meditating. You are thinking. You are reflecting in the cave of Hira. We found. You want to know the truth. We guided you. So all the messengers of Allah got the guidance from Allah. All the angels of Allah get the guidance from Allah. Now this word Yahiddi, actually this is the changed form of Yahtadi. This is, a style in Arabic language. Two letters becomes amalgamated. Ta and Dal, Yahtadi, Yahtadi, Ta and Dal, they have been amalgamated. Yahiddi. So Dal has been made mushaddad twice. أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ. On the one side is Allah who guides you to the truth. On the other side are all the others who cannot have the guidance themselves unless they are guided. Now who should be followed? أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُتَّبَعَ أَمَّنْ لَا يَهِدِّي إِلَّا أَنْ يُهْدَى فَمَا لَكُمْ كَيْفَ تَحْكُمُونَ. So what has happened to you? What judgment are you giving? وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ إِلَّا ظَنًّا. And all, if not all, the majority of them are not following except conjectures. لَا يُغْنِي وَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. And no conjecture is of any avail regarding the truth. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ. Allah very well knows what you are doing. وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَنْ يُفْتَرَى مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ. And this Quran is not such a thing which could be composed by anyone other than Allah. مَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَنْ يُفْتَرَى مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ. Look to this Quran, look to its beauty. It is not such a thing that could be composed by anybody else except Allah. وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. It is a confirmation of that which is present before it. That is Torah and Injil. وَتَفْصِيلَ الْكِتَابِ. And it has all the details of the law. I told you, this word kitab, mostly it indicates law. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. And there is no doubt about it. مِنْ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. It is from the Lord of all the worlds. أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَاهُ. Are they saying that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has composed it, forged it? He has himself composed Quran? قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِثْلِهِ. Ask them to bring forth even one surah like it. And surah, you know, can be as small as Surah Al-Asr, as small as Surah Al-Kawthar, as small as Surah Al-Nasr. These three surahs of the Quran consist of 3 ayat only. One ayah, wal asr. This is one ayah. So this is the open challenge Quran has thrown. We have found it in Surah Al-Baqarah. فَإِن كُنْتُم مِّن رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. But you shall find this challenge thrice in the Makki surahs. In this surah, in Surah Hud, and Surah Bani Israel. Thrice this challenge was thrown to them in the Makki surahs, and then it was repeated in the Madani surah. فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ. And call upon all of them whom you can call for your help, leaving alone Allah, leaving aside Allah. In kuntum sadiqin, if you are really true. Now this is a very piercing and searching question, telling them you are not sincere in saying this. From the depths of your heart, you believe that this is divine. This is not human. These words are divine, not human. But because you have to make them excuses, you are saying that it has been composed by Muhammad. If you are really in doubt, then you try and accept the challenge. Call all the poets and all the orators and all those things. Not only men, also the jinns, you know. Call them and try to compose only one surah like Quran, if you are really in doubt. وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَنْ يُفْتَرَى مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَتَفْصِيلَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ مِنْ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَاهُ قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِمَا لَمْ يُحِيطُوا بِعِلْمِهِ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِهِمْ تَأْوِيلُهُ كَذَلِكَ كَذَّبَ الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِهِمْ فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الظَّالِمِينَ. وَمِنْهُم مَّن يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ وَمِنْهُم مَّن لَّا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ وَرَبُّكَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم ربنا ألهمنا رشدنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم ربنا آنس وحشتنا في قبورنا وارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم اللهم اجعله لنا إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وآناء النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين آمين. Dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You must have noted that although we had completed our study of Surah Yunus up till Ayah 38, but we are beginning today again from Ayah 37, because you know the subject which was under discussion, the sequence and continuation requires it. وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَنْ يُفْتَرَى مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ. And this Quran is not such a thing which could be composed by anyone else but Allah. وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. Now there are three dimensions of the Quran. Its literary beauty, that was a miracle for the Arabs. They could appreciate. It was their own language. So actually, this aspect of Quran being a miracle was most apparent to the Arabs. So this is for them. Number two, وَلَكِنْ تَصْدِيقَ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. Second dimension, it confirms that which is present before it. That is Torah, Injil. Although Muhammad never studied them, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was an unlettered person. He didn't know what is Torah, what is Injil. مَا كُنْتَ تَدْرِي مَا الْكِتَابُ وَلَا الْإِيمَانُ وَلَكِنْ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُورًا نَهْدِي بِهِ مَنْ نَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. We shall study this ayah in Surah Shura. So that aspect was a miracle for the people of the book. وَتَفْصِيلَ الْكِتَابِ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. And third dimension is that it is the details of the law, and this is for whole of humanity for all time to come. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. And there is no doubt about it. Min Rabbil Alameen, that it is from the Lord of all the worlds. Now because here in the Makki surahs, the main address is to the pagan Arabs, the unlettered one, the Ummiyin. As now they are asked and challenged regarding that aspect of Quran which relates to them. And that is the beauty of Quran, the literary beauty. Am yaqulun aftara. Are they saying that he has, that is Muhammad has, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, composed it, forged it? Qul fa'tu bi suratin mislihi. So put a challenge to him, to them. You bring forth one surah like this. وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Call for your help whomsoever you can. إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. If you are really in doubt. This is a piercing question, searching question, telling them that you don't have any doubt that this book cannot be composed by any human being. At least this aspect of this book was absolutely clear. But regarding the teachings of the book, there could be two types of persons. There were the persons who felt that whatever this book is saying is correct. Their souls had testified to the truthfulness of this book. But because of their obstinacy, because of their haughtiness, because of their positions, because of their arrogance, they were denying it and belying it, knowingly. But there were others also, because all were not of such a level of consciousness, of understanding. There were others who actually couldn't comprehend what Quran is saying. They were finding it difficult for them to understand what Quran is saying. They needed some time. So those people are referred here. بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِمَا لَمْ يُحِيطُوا بِعِلْمِهِ وَلَمَّا يَأْتِهِمْ تَأْوِيلُهُ. But they have denied this Quran, all because, they could not comprehend what it is saying. لَمْ يُحِيطُوا بِعِلْمِهِ. They couldn't comprehend, the knowledge that it contained. وَلَمَّا يَأْتِهِمْ تَأْوِيلُهُ. And its interpretation has not up till now come. This has been translated or interpreted in two ways. Tawiluhu, meaning thereby the punishment which the Prophet ﷺ was threatening, that if you don't believe in me, you'll be punished. That punishment has not up till come. Secondly is that because, from the very beginning, the ayat which were revealed, they were very profound. And it was not easy for all of the people to understand them fully. Later on they were explained. And then it became easy to understand by a common man also. That we shall find, in the beginning of the next surah, that is Surah Hud, alayhi salatu wassalam. Alif Lam Ra, Kitabun uhkimat ayatuhu, summa fussilat min ladun hakimin khabir. This is special style of this book. The surahs which were revealed in the beginning are very small, but very profound in meaning, very strong, saturated, you may say, of wisdom. But then, slowly and gradually, these things were explained. ثُمَّ فُصِّلَتْ مِن لَدُنْ حَكِيمٍ خَبِيرٍ. So actually, common people could have found it a difficulty to understand what Quran was saying in the beginning. بل كذبوا بما لم يحيطوا بعلمه ولما يأتهم تأويله كذلك كذب الذين من قبلهم. In the same way, those who were before them, they also belied and rejected. فانظر كيف كان عاقبة الظالمين. So you can see for yourself what was the end, what happened to them, end of the evildoers, what happened to Ad, what happened to Samud. At least these two nations were from the Arabian Peninsula, southern part and southwestern part. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ. Now because, in Arabic language, this فعل المضارع, it comprises both of the present tense and the future tense. مِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ. There are among them who believe in it, although they don't accept it openly. They know it is from Allah, but they can't do it due to their obstinacy, due to their haughtiness, arrogance. This is they believe this is book of Allah. They have recognized it, but they are not ready to announce it. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ. And there are others who have not been able to comprehend and they don't believe in it. But we can translate it in the future tense also. Among them are who will believe in it sooner or later. Those people who have not up till now understood it. So there is every hope that when the details come to them, they will believe in it. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِهِ. And there are among them who will never believe in it because they are already, understood. And they know it's the book of Allah, word of Allah, and they have rejected it. So now there can be no hope. And they have reached the point of no return. وَرَبُّكَ عَالَمُ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ. And your Lord is very well aware of these mischief mongers, these people, haughty people, who have vested interest in the present system, which is threatened by what Muhammad ﷺ has brought. They are not going to accept it. They have to resist it tooth and nail. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُونَ إِلَيْكَ. Now, these people are discussed, who are denying the Quran, who are belying the Quran knowingly that it is the book of Allah. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُونَ إِلَيْكَ. And there are among them who listen to you very attentively. I told you, سَمِعَ يَسْمَعُ means to listen, and إِسْتَمَعَ يَسْتَمِعُ to listen. وَإِنْ كَذَّبُوكَ فَقُلْ لِي عَمَلِي وَلَكُمْ عَمَلُكُمْ. And if they belie you, reject you, then tell them, for me are my deeds, for you are your deeds. Whatever I am earning, Whatever I am doing, I am earning for myself. Whatever you are earning, now it's up to you to see what you are earning. But it is for you. Antum bari'um mimma a'malu. Wa ana bari'um mimma ta'malun. You are not responsible for what I am doing, and I am not responsible for what you are doing. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُونَ إِلَيْكَ. And among them are there people who listen to you very attentively, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, apparently. أَفَأَنْتَ تُسْمِعُ السُّمَّ وَلَوْ كَانُوا لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. But can you make the deaf hear? You can't do it. They are deaf actually. They are only apparently listening. But there are the hearts have been sealed. لَوْ كَانُوا لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Although they might not be understanding it. فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَيْكَ. And there are among them who look at you. أَفَأَنْتَ تَهْدِي الْعُمْيَ وَلَوْ كَانُوا لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. But can you guide the blind people? They are not actually, they are not seeing. They appear to be seeing, but they are blind. The seal has already been put on their hearts. وَلَوْ كَانُوا لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. And although they might not be seeing. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ النَّاسَ شَيْئًا. But don't think, this condition of theirs, it is not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is due to their own obstinacy. They recognize the truth and then they rejected it. So actually this is as I told you, a term of physiology, disuse atrophy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them the faculty of understanding. But when they knew it, they recognized it, and then rejected it. So that faculty became less and less and less and less. And a time came when it reached that point of no return. That faculty now no more exists now. So this is not any, zulm from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allah la yazlimu an-nasa shay'an walakinna an-nasa anfusahum yazlimun. Actually, these are the people who are doing wrong to themselves. Allah doesn't do wrong to anybody else, anybody. وَيَوْمَ يَحْشُرُهُمْ أَنْ لَمْ يَلْبَسُوا إِلَّا سَاعَةً مِنَ النَّهَارِ يَتَعَارَفُونَ بَيْنَهُمْ. And the day on which we shall gather them all, they will feel as if they had not stayed in the world and in the graves also, but only for an hour of the day. This is how we shall feel when we will be resurrected. And we can have the experience. Now I'm 60 years old. This is the 64th year of my life. But the events of childhood appear to be as if they were yesterday. All this distance, and all this, it goes off. So they wouldn't feel that they lived in the world or in the graves, but except for an hour of the day. يَتَعَارَفُونَ بَيْنَهُمْ. And they will only recognize each other. Oh, this is the person. So they will recognize. قَدْ خَسِرَ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِلِقَاءِ اللَّهِ. People who disbelieved the meeting with their Lord, with Allah. This is the fourth time. لِقَاءَ اللَّهِ. لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. 3 times last night we read it. And I told you this is the key word of this surah. قَدْ خَسِرَ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا. Those who denied meeting with us, they have put themselves already into the loss. وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. And they are not going to be guided to the right path. وَإِمَّا نُرِيَنَّكَ بَعْضَ الَّذِينَ نَعِدُهُمْ أَوْ نَتَوَفَّيَنَّكَ فَإِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ ثُمَّ اللَّهُ شَهِيدٌ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ. Now, in the background is the threat that was given by all the messengers. I am the messenger of Allah. If you don't accept me, don't believe in me, a punishment will come to you. You will be exterminated. This is the law. All the nations exterminated, finished, destroyed. So the same was the threat that was coming to them through Quran. But now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَإِمَّا نُرِيَنَّكَ بَعْضَ الَّذِي نَعِدُهُمْ. This is also possible that we show you some of the things which we are promising them. Within your lifetime, that end might come. And this is also possible that we possess you, make you to die. فَإِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ. Then to us is their return. ثُمَّ اللَّهُ شَهِيدٌ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ. And then Allah is seeing what they are doing. He is the witness over whatever they are doing. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولٌ. Very important. I told you, there are other ayat also in the Quran to the same effect. نَعِمْ مِنْ قَرْيَةٍ إِلَّا خَلَا فِيهَا نَذِيرٌ وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ. And now note here, وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولٌ. For every community, we sent a messenger. فَإِذَا جَاءَ رَسُولُهُمْ قُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْقِسْطِ. And when their messengers came to them, well, their case was decided, but with justice. وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. And they were not wronged. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And they say, when will this promise be fulfilled? When will the punishment come? Well, you know, I have been listening. Punishment will come, chastisement will come, torment will come. Oh, we are fed up of listening and hearing. It's, more than 10 years that we have been hearing all that. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَى هَذَا الْوَعْدُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. If you are true, O Muslims, when this torment will come, when this promise will be fulfilled. قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكُ لِنَفْسِي ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. Tell them, I don't possess, I don't have power for my own self even, for any thing which might hurt or anything which may be profitable. I have no power. إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. Except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees. لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ. The other part of the law. And for every community, a fixed time period Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed from the very beginning. إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ فَلَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. When that appointed time will come, they will not be able to postpone it for even an hour. But it cannot be advanced also. Even if you demand, even if I like, even if the Muslims like, well, the time has fixed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has been fixed. It will come on its time. Even if I want, it won't come earlier. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has fixed a period for every community. لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ فَلَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَتَاكُمْ عَذَابُهُ بَيَاتًا أَوْ نَهَارًا مَاذَا يَسْتَعْجِلُ مِنْهُ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Say to them, have you ever considered, if that punishment comes over you suddenly, during the night or during the day, what good will it be for which they are hastening? It will be azab, it will be torment, it will be punishment. Why do you want that it should come soon? You should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is giving you respite. Maybe during this time, some of you come to believe, some of you see the light, and they then are included in those who will be saved. أَثُمَّ إِذَا مَا وَقَعَ آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ. Is it that when it has happened and occurred, then you will believe in it? Then it will be of no use. آلَانْ وَقَدْ كُنْتُمْ بِهِ تَسْتَعْجِلُونَ. And then it will be said, oh what? Now you want to believe. And you were hastening for it. You were demanding it, that it should come early. But after that comes, then believing is of no use, is of no avail. ثُمَّ قِيلَ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا ذُوقُوا عَذَابَ الْخُلْدِ. Now this was the torment of this dunya, this world. That to any community to whom the messenger was sent and they rejected him, most of them. But what happened at Makkah? There were a sizable number of people who accepted Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They migrated with him. Then there were others who had accepted him but couldn't migrate. So the conditions in Makkah were different. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, their case is going to be a bit different, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you must note. Because their case is not the case like the case of Nuh, the people of Nuh or the people of Hud. They almost en masse rejected their messengers. This is not the case. وَإِمَّا نُرِيَنَّكَ بَعْضَ الَّذِينَ نَعِدُهُمْ أَوْ نَتَوَفَّيَنَّكَ فَإِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ ثُمَّ اللَّهُ شَهِيدٌ عَلَى مَا يَفْعَلُونَ. This ayah we had already read, ayah number 46. So actually it was a different case with the people of Makkah. But you know what has been discussed in ayah 51, that is the torment of this world. Now the real torment and real punishment and real chastisement is to come in the hereafter. ثُمَّ قِيلَ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا ذُوقُوا عَذَابَ الْخُلْدِ هَلْ تُجْزَوْنَ إِلَّا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْسِبُونَ. Then it will be said to these people, these evildoers, now taste this lasting chastisement, this lasting punishment, this lasting torment. هَلْ تُجْزَوْنَ إِلَّا بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. You are not being rewarded or recompensed, but for what you had been earning. وَيَسْتَنْبِئُونَكَ حَقٌّ هُوَ. And they ask you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is it really the truth that you are seeing? Now this could be in two ways. Maybe a person who had recognized that this is the truth, but laughingly, jokingly, Oh Muhammad, do you actually believe in it? Do you really feel? Or you are only posing? How are you only joking? Ahakul who? Do you claim it is the truth? But maybe there were the other types of people. Because lam yahitu bi'ilmihi, who had not been able to comprehend it. He might have been asking this question earnestly, sincerely. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is it really the truth? So this can go both ways. وَيَسْتَنْبِئُونَ أَحَقٌّ هُوَ قُلْ إِي وَرَبِّي إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ. Say, yes, by my Lord, it is the truth. Now what's the argument in it? There's no logical argument, but the argument of the personality of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They knew Muhammad never lied. He never told a lie. And now he is saying it. Bala, wa Rabbi. I swear by my Lord. This is the truth. Innahu lahaqqun wa ma antum bimu'jizin. And you will not be able to escape. You will not be able to defeat Allah. وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِكُلِّ نَفْسٍ ظَلَمَتْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ لَافْتَدَتْ بِهِ. And if for these people, these souls, if a soul or a person who is the evildoer, had he possessed all the wealth of the world, he would offer it to ransom him on the day of judgment. وَأَسَرُّوا النَّدَامَةَ. And they will hide or conceal their regrets, remorse. But you know, Abdullah Yusuf Ali has translated it in absolutely opposite way. They will have to declare their regrets. And you know, this word Israr, because it's my name also, you know, there had been controversy in Pakistani press during early 80s about my name also. Just like Maulana Abul Ala Maudud's name, it was also discussed. His name is wrong. Al-Ala is Allah. How come Abul Ala is the father of Allah? So you know, some people said those things in the end. It was in a matter of common interest for some days in the press. In the same way, my name was also discussed. Israr. What does it mean? But when I studied, you know, Lisanul Arab, I found that this word has both the meanings. To hide something, asarra yusirru israran, and to tell some secret. Because if'al, you know, it has a quality. This bab, if'al, has a quality which is called in Arabic, nahw and grammar, salb ma'khiz. Salb ma'khaz. Fals means money. Iflas, without money. So sir means secret. To break the secret, israr. And to keep the secret, israr. So it has double meanings. So these two meanings, they are included in this word. Asarun nadama, they will hide within them the regrets that they will have. What we did. Or they will have to, and they will, they will declare their regrets. Lamma ra'ul azab, when they will see that punishment. Wa qudiya bainahum bil qist, and it will be decided with justice among them. وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ, and they will not be wronged. أَلَا إِنَّ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Behold, whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth belongs to Allah. أَلَا إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ. Behold, the promise of Allah is true. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, but most of them don't know. هُوَ يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ. It is He who gives life. And it is He who puts to death. وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. And then you will be returned to Him. Now we find two ayat, very important ayat regarding, Quran, the level of Quran. How big a blessing it is. What are its different aspects? How He influences human beings. Ya ayyuhan-nas, O mankind, qad ja'atkum maw'izatun min rabbikum. To you has already come the sermon, the heart-rendering sermon from your Lord. Note this word, sermon. Qad ja'atkum maw'izatun min rabbikum, number one. وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ, and the cure of the ills of the heart. What are the ills of the heart? Love of this world, love of wealth, lust for power, jealousy, haughtiness. These are the ills of the heart, or the diseases of the soul. Number one, it is the sermon, heart-rending sermon. Number two, it's the cure for all the diseases of your hearts and souls. Wahudan. Number three, it's the guidance. Warahmah. Number four, it's the mercy. But this is Hudam wa Rahma lil Mu'mineen, only for those who believe in it. Now this has a logic in this sequence, Because if the hearts have hardened, just as we know, ثُمَّ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ فَهِيَ كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً. So no advice will be able to be effective. If a patient is vomiting, so you can't give him any medicine through stomach. You have to inject the medicine. In the same way, if the, land is hard, even if rain comes, the water will just pass by. It won't be absorbed. So it won't bring out the hidden treasures in that land. First of all, you have to soften the land. So these hearts must be softened first. And for that softening of the heart, you need sermon. Heart-rendering sermon. Which, softens the heart, the soil. The heart is like a soil. It must be softened. For that you need sermon. Now, the medicine will be absorbed. When it is absorbed, now it will cure the ills of your souls. But if it is not absorbed, you just hear from one ear and it goes out from the other, what use? So actually, number one, mau'izah. Number two, shifa'un lima fi sudur. And when the ills of the heart and the soul are cured, only then you can avail of the guidance. Otherwise, whole the guidance might be put before you, it's of no use to you. Hudan lil muttaqeen. Unless there is a sincere desire to have guidance, all the guidance might be produced before you, it will be of no avail. And the final result, and that is mercy, that will appear in the hereafter. Ya ayyuhan nas qad ja'atkum maw'izatun min rabbikum wa shifaa'un lima fis sudur wa hudan wa rahmatun lil mu'minin qul bi fadlillahi wa bi rahmatihi. Say, it has come from the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Qul bi fadlillah. This is the biggest manifestation of the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only if we could evaluate it. Only if we could appreciate it. Full bi fadlillahi wa bi rahmatihi. This is the manifestation of the bounty and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. On this they should rejoice. If you know there is some lottery of $5 million, somebody gets it, he rejoices. It has come to me. Oh, you Muslims. Oh, you human beings, if you can only evaluate what's the value of this Quran, you must rejoice in it that you have it. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. Although this farah, this word is not used in good sense. La tafrah. Commonly it is not used in good sense. But here, if you have to enjoy, over enjoyment, it is farah is over enjoyment, over happiness. But if you want to be over happy, this is the wealth, true wealth. So, فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِّمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. It is much better than what they are gathering and amassing. The worldly wealth, the articles, the furniture, the articles of decoration pieces, very costly decoration pieces being bought, and you put them in your drawing room so that a visitor is impressed. The antiques, everything that you are proud of. هُوَ خَيْرٌ مِّمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. This Quran is much valuable, much better than all those things which they gather. قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُم مِّن رِّزْقٍ فَجَعَلْتُم مِّنْهُ حَرَامًا وَحَلَالًا. This subject has been discussed, in detail in the Madani surahs. Ask them, have you ever considered that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down for you as provision, as food, فَجَعَلْتُم مِّنْهُ حَرَامًا وَحَلَالًا, you have declared on your own, out of these something to be permissible, something to be haram, and something to be forbidden. On what authority? قُلْ اللَّهُ أَذِنَ لَكُمْ. Has Allah given you the authority? Where is the authority? On what? On the basis of what authority have you declared these things? أَمْ عَلَى اللَّهِ تَفْتَرُونَ. Or you are forging these things and attributing them to Allah. وَمَا ظَنُّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. These words can be translated in two ways. What is their thought about the day of judgment? مَا ظَنُّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. What do they think about the Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of resurrection? Those who are knowingly, willingly forging things and attributing them to Allah. What do they think about the day of the resurrection and the day of, of Qiyamah? The second way, what will be their thoughts on the day of Qiyamah, on the day of judgment? وَمَا ظَنُّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَذُو فَضْلٍ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bountiful for the mankind. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. But most of them are not grateful. وَمَا تَكُونُ فِي شَانٍ. A very beautiful ayah. It's very encouraging for a moment when he is doing something good, or he is suffering for the cause of Allah and His deen, that he knows that Allah is seeing me. I am in the sight of my Lord. He is not unaware of me and my difficulties. If I am suffering for Him, He knows it. It's not the case, as in Urdu we say, mar gaye hum unhe khabar na hui. No, He knows. Whatever you are doing, it's in knowledge. Whatever you are spending, He knows it. If any suffering you are enduring, He knows it. وَمَا تَكُونُ فِي شَانٍ. And you are not occupied with any matter. وَمَا تَتْلُو مِنْهُ مِنْ قُرْآنٍ. Nor do you recite any portion of the Quran. وَلَا تَعْمَلُونَ مِنْ عَمَلٍ. Nor do you do any work. إِلَّا كُنَّا عَلَيْكُمْ شَهُودًا. But we are witness over you when you are engaged therein. إِذْ فِيهِ. وَمَا يَعْزُبُكَ عَنْ رَبِّكَ مِن مِّثْقَالِ ذَرَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي السَّمَاءِ. And even a particle is not hidden from the sight of your Lord throughout the heavens and the earth. وَلَا أَصْغَرَ مِنْ ذَلِكَ وَلَا أَكْبَرَ. Nor is there anything smaller than the particle, nor bigger than the particle. إِلَّا فِي كِتَابٍ مُبِينٍ. But it is recorded in a clear and manifest book. I told you, by this book is meant the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is there in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There have been philosophers, especially, the people who follow Aristotle. And we call them Mashayeen in, Arabic philosophy, this school of thought. They are called Mashayeen. And they have an idea that Allah knows only the principles and general rules, not all the details. And they are the philosophers, they are the thinkers. That is why we can appreciate why Quran so much emphasizes it. He knows everything. Not a single particle is out of his sight. And the word atom could not be used at that time. And protons and neutrons or photons. But here asghara, wala asghara min dhalik. Even the smaller, something smaller than a particle also he knows. And whatever is bigger, it is his knowledge. Allah, now again 2 ayat. They are quoted many a time in the sermons, especially those ulama and those, khutaba and orators who belong to the Barelvi school of thought in the Indian subcontinent. These 2 ayat, but please understand them here today, what they are. Ala inna awliya Allahi la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. 100% correct. Behold, for the friends of Allah, there is no fear upon them, nor will they grieve. Very correct, 100% correct. Awliya Allah, friends of Allah, who have put all their faith in Allah, who have given themselves over to Allah. Supurdum beto maya kheshra, tu dani hisabe ka mubeshra. Oh Allah, I give myself over to you. You know what is better for me, and you know what is not good for me. Whatever comes to me from my friend, my beloved, well, that it is from his bounty. Maybe, for the time being, it is appearing to me to be unpleasant. It is hurting me. But I know. Because when we used to take quinine for malaria, how, bitter it was. And the child, if he was forced by the mother, you have to drink it. But it was for the benefit of the child. Mother didn't benefit from, from that medicine. So even if something is unpleasant for us, we know it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever is coming from Him. We have read this ayah in Surah At-Tawbah. It's 100% correct. It's not a piece of poetry. It's absolutely logical. Allah inna awliya Allah la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. But who are the awliya Allah? Are they special species? A different species from the human beings? No. They are also humans. Alladhina amanu wa kanu yattaqoon. That's all. You can also become a waliullah. It's nothing, reserved for certain people. Only you have to have the real faith. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. The real faith and taqwa. The real consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These two things. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. The real mu'min is waliullah. And Allah is the wali of the true mu'mins. Allahu waliyyu allazina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Wallazina kafaru awliyahum at-taghut yukhrijunahum min an-nur ila adh-dhulumat. So it's a two-way phenomenon. If you are sincere to your Lord, He becomes your wali. And you also become His wali. Ala inna awliya Allahi la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun allazina amanu wa kanu yattaqun. It's so simple. Lahumul bushra fil hayatid dunya. For them there are glad tidings in the life of this world also. Wa fil akhirah, and in the hereafter also. La tabdila li kalimatillah. There can be none who can change the words of Allah, commands of Allah. Zalika huwa al-fawzul azim. And this is the great success. Real iman, real taqwa. You become waliullah. And this is the success. La yahzunka qawluhum. Let not their words, whatever they are saying, grieve you, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Innal izzata lillahi jami'a. All glory and honor belongs to Allah, who is Sami'ul Alim. And He is all hearing, all knowing. Ala inna lillahi man fis samawati wa man fil ard. Behold, to Allah belongs everyone who is in the heavens and who is in the earth. Now, man and ma, these are two words. Ma, whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. And man, whosoever is in the heavens, whosoever is in the earth. وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ الَّذِينَ يَدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ. And these people who are calling upon other deities except Allah, they are not actually following any real entity. They are their own concoctions. إِن يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ. They are not following but their own conjectures. It's their own imagination which they are following. They are following none. إِن يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ وَإِنْهُمْ إِلَّا يَخْرُصُونَ. And they are only guessing. Nothing else. هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ لِتَسْكُنُوا فِيهِ وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا. It is He who has made the night for you so that you can have rest in it. وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا. And He has made the day to see. Now there's a special mode or style of the Quran which should be understood from here. Which it is called hazf. Economy on words. Whatever is absolutely clear by itself, it is omitted or deleted, left to the reader to complete it. Two things are opposing each other. هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ لِتَسْكُنُوا فِيهِ. Here the word musliman has been omitted. هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ مُسْلِمًا لِتَسْكُنُوا فِيهِ. He has made the night dark so that you can take rest in it. وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا. And He has made the day to see so that لِتَعْمَلُونَ فِيهِ لِتَكْسِبُوا فِيهِ. So that you can earn, you can go about. So one thing omitted from that side, the other thing omitted from this side. You may call it the economy on words. Why to use extra words when it can be understood with this hasf also? هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ مُظْلِمًا in bracket لِتَسْكُنُوا فِيهِ وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا لِتَعْمَلُوا فِيهِ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَسْمَعُونَ. definitely in these are signs for those who listen. Listen with a living heart, not listening with a dead heart, with a dead soul. I recall, in that very famous poem, the Psalm of Life, this word has been used. Soul, dead. I will try to recall. Life is real. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. Life is real, life is earnest. And the death is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest was not spoken of the soul. But there is a line in the soul, death of soul, slumber. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the death is not its goal. So that is the point. The souls die. It's a universally accepted phenomenon. This higher poetry, that also something nears, the consciousness. The consciousness of these poets is at a higher level. They appreciate some realities, psychological realities, some cosmological realities they appreciate. And that is why, people are moved when you listen to that poetry. هو الذي جعل لكم الليل تسكنوا فيه والنهار مبصرا إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يسمعون. There are signs in it for those who listen with living souls, living hearts. قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا, and they say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken son or daughter, awlad, children. Subhana, glory to be, glory be to him. Huwal Ghani, he is self-sufficient. He doesn't need any son. You need it. Why? Because you are going to die. So you think that, some sort of my own existence would continue through my son. After all, he is a part and parcel of my own existence. He has emanated from me. So that is actually why we love to have, sons. But Allah doesn't need it. He is ever living. وَمَا يَنْبَغِي لِلرَّحْمَنِ أَنْ يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا. We'll read it in Surah Maryam, inshallah. قَالُوا اتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ وَلَدًا سُبْحَانَهُ هُوَ الْغَنِيُّ لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. To him belongs everything that is in the heavens and the earth. إِنْ عِنْدَكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ بِهَذَا. You don't have any authority, any warrant on which you are proclaiming it. أَتَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Do you say and attribute to Allah? تَقُولُوا عَلَى, call Allah, saying something and then attributing it to someone else. You are saying and attributing to Allah which you don't know. قُلْ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَفْتَرُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ لَا يُفْلِحُونَ. Tell them, those who concoct and forge things and then attribute them to Allah, they will never be prosperous. They will never be successful. مَتَاعٌ فِي الدُّنْيَا, except for some enjoyment in this world. If they take it to be success, okay, this success is granted to them. But the real success of the real life of hereafter, they will never have. ثُمَّ إِلَيْنَا مَرْجِعُهُمْ, then to us will be their return. ثُمَّ نُذِيقُهُمُ الْعَذَابَ الشَّدِيدَ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْفُرُونَ. And then we shall make them taste the hardest punishment due to what they had been earning and due to what they had been denying and rejecting. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ نُوحٍ. I told you this surah comprises of 11 rukus. Only 2 they are engaged by Amba'ur Rusul, the big news of the messengers of the past. And here you will find Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam discussed in half of the ruku, and the rest of 1.5 ruku fully devoted to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, the first and the last. And the intervening 4, that is Hud, Saleh, Lut, Shuaib, alayhi salatu wasalam, not mentioned by name even. Only one sentence, one ayah regarding them. You will find this thing absolutely converse in the next surah, Surah Al-Hud. Out of the 12 sections, more than 6, they are occupied by Amba'ur Rasul. There Hazrat Nuh will have 2 full sections, 25 ayat, and Hazrat Musa only mentioned in 1 line. And the rest 4 will also be devoted, 1 section each, just as it was in the case of Surah Al-Araf. So this reciprocal ratio and proportion, that is also a sign of the surahs that they are pairs. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ نُوحٍ, and recite to them the news of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ, when he said to his nation, يَا قَوْمِ إِنْ كَانَ كَبُرَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَقَامِي وَتَذْكِيرِي. O my people, if by standing amongst you and reminding you بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ, with the revelations of Allah, has become very hard on you, unbearable for you. كَبُرَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَقَامِي وَتَذْكِيرِي بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ فَعَلَى اللَّهِ تَوَكَّلْتُ. So listen, I have put all my faith in Allah. فَأَجْمِعُوا أَمْرَكُمْ. You all agree on some plan against me. Whatever you can do, do against me. Just the same type of challenging andas, challenging style. Now whatever you can do, go ahead. أَجْمِعُوا أَمْرَكُمْ وَشُرَكَاءَكُمْ. And all your false gods, call them also. ثُمَّ لَا يَكُنْ أَمْرُكُمْ عَلَيْكُمْ غُمَّةً. And then there should be no ambiguity about your plans. Make decisions clearly. ثُمَّ اقْضُوا إِلَيَّ. Then you, whatever you want to do to me, do it. وَلَا تُنْزِرُونَ. Don't give me any respite. I am not asking or requesting you for any respite. Now, this part, it can be only after a very long time. Very long time. Just as we see in Surah Nuh. Because there also, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for azab. وَقَالَ نُوحٌ رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ دَيَّارًا. Such harsh words. Don't leave even one single home of these kuffar, intact. So this happens only in the last phases of those struggle going on between the messenger of Allah on the one side and, the chiefs of the nation and the tribe on the other side. When it reaches to that climax, then the prophet or the messenger used to say, okay, if you are fed up with me, I am also fed up with you. Now do whatever you can. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ نُوحٍ إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ يَا قَوْمِ إِنْ كَانَ كَبُرَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَقَامِي وَتَذْكِيرِي بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ فَعَلَى اللَّهِ تَوَكَّلْتُ فَأَجْمِعُوا أَمْرَكُمْ وَشُرَكَاءَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُنْ أَمْرُكُمْ عَلَيْكُمْ غُمَّةً ثُمَّ اقْضُوا إِلَيَّ وَلَا تُنْظِرُونَ فَإِنْ تَوَلَّيْتُمْ فَمَا سَأَلْتُكُمْ مِنْ أَجْرٍ. And if you turn away, I never asked you for any reward. I've been calling you. Did I ever ask for any pay, any salary, any reward? In ajriya illa ala Allah. My rewards rest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm His servant. I'm His whole time paid servant. He will pay me. وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And I've been commanded that I should be among the Muslims, among those who submit themselves to whatever command their Lord gives. فَكَذَّبُوهُ. So they rejected him, belied him. فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَمَنْ مَعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ. So we delivered him and those who were with him in the ark. فَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ خَلَائِفَ. And we made them the successors or the vicegerents on earth. The rest of the humanity, all drowned. And next, after them, all 3 sons of Nuh alayhi salam. They are the forefathers now of all the nations of the world. Sam, Ham and Yafis.
They were the successors. فَكَذَّبُوهُ فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَمَن مَّعَهُ فِي الْفُلْكِ وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ خَلَائِفَ وَأَغْرَقْنَا الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا. And we drowned all those who rejected and belied our revelations. فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُنذَرِينَ. So you see what was the result, end of those who were warned. They were not destroyed without warning. They were warned for 900 years. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا 50 عَامًا. Only 50 less than 1,000. 950 years. Now in next one ayah, the mention is being made of the 4 messengers who were mentioned, separately, each one of them in one ruku, one section in Surah Al-A'raf. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ رُسُلًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِمْ. And then we sent messengers to their nations. After whom? After, the people of Nuh. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ. After Nuh, رُسُلًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِمْ. Messengers to their nations. فَجَاءُوهُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. They also came to them with bayyinat, self-evident truths, miracles. Bayyin, something which is absolutely evident and clear, about which there can be no doubt. So the teachings of the prophets were bayyin. The miracles of the prophets were bayyin. The revelations which came to the prophet were bayyin. So bayyin can cover all these 3 things. فَمَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا بِمَا كَذَّبُوا بِهِ مِنْ قَبْلِ. The same law of, hidayah and zalalah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whosoever has decided to remain on the wrong path, they never get the guidance. They never avail of the guidance. فَمَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا بِمَا كَذَّبُوا مِنْ قَبْلِ. They were not to believe in what they had rejected in the very beginning. كَذَلِكَ نَتْبَعُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. And this is how we set seal on the hearts of the mu'tadeen, transgressors. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ مُوسَىٰ وَهَارُونَ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ. Now the last one. I have told you 6. They are repeated in Quran many times. Here, the first and the last are mentioned with names, and the intervening 4 only referred to in that ayah. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِ مُوسَىٰ وَهَارُونَ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ. And then we sent Musa and Harun إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ. Now there the word Qawm doesn't appear. This is very important, but because the time, is over for this first session, this is a very important, point of political science or sociology, which must understand why this change. إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. No, not to the Qawm. Musa and Harun were sent to Fir'aun and Malaihi, to Fir'aun and his chiefs. بِآيَاتِنَا فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا وَكَانُوا قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِن بَعْدِهِم مُوسَىٰ وَهَارُونَ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ بِآيَاتِنَا فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا وَكَانُوا قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ. I refer to the point that here the word Qawm has not been used. Why? Because previously the people were at a primitive level of social evolution. Homogeneous, a tribe, homogeneous. No differentiations of the governors and the governed. But now, as you know, there was social evolution, you may call it, or devolution, you may call it, what happened, whatever you may call it. The changes in the social structure. Now, society divided into 2 parts. The dominators, the dominant sections, and people, common masses, who just became ignorant. Mostly they became like, beasts of burden. They didn't have any time to ponder over anything. This is what we can see, with our own eyes in societies like, Pakistan and so many other Muslim countries. Big landlords, they are the governors. They are the small kings of their estates. And the common man, in the same way, the chieftains of Balochistan. Common people, absolutely ignorant. And if some light comes to them, they obstruct it. They shouldn't get the light, because they want to keep them exploited. So the oppressors and the oppressed, the exploiters and the exploited, this differentiation started. Here in this country, you have this oppression in another form. It's the capitalist. The capitalist can buy the media, the press, everything, print media, electronic media. They have, the money to buy them. And then they can befool the common man. Common man doesn't have more time to go into details and to know things for himself. If he has any time, that is also, taken up by these amusements, as they call them. Befoolments they should be called, Because they are not allowed then. They don't have any time to think about the real things of the life. So this must be kept in mind. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ مُوسَى وَهَارُونَ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ. Then we sent after them Musa and Harun to Pharaoh and his chiefs. بِآيَاتِنَا, with our signs. Now here they mean they do big miracles. فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا, they behaved arrogantly. وَكَانُوا قَوْمًا مُجْرِمِينَ, and they were a guilty people. فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ عِنْدِنَا, we have read these things, in detail. When the truth came to them from us, قَالُوا إِنَّ هَذَا لَسِحْرٌ مُبِينٌ, they said it's a clear sorcery. It's a magic. قَالَ مُوسَىٰ أَتَقُولُونَ لِلْحَقِّ لَمَّا جَاءَكُمْ أَسِحْرٌ هَذَا. Musa said to them, asked them, are you saying this for the truth that has come to you? Is it magic? Do you really think it is magic? وَلَا يُفْلِحُ السَّاحِرُونَ. And the magicians, they will never succeed. قَالُوا وَجِئْتَنَا لِتَلْفِتَنَا عَمَّا وَجَدْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا. Now those chiefs and Pharaoh, what they said, have you come to us so as to turn us away from what we found our forefathers practicing? وَتَكُونَ لَكُمَ الْكِبْرِيَاءُ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and the dominion in the land, they should be for you both. You are aspiring for power. You want to drive us from this land and to govern and control this land through your magic. وَمَا نَحْنُ لَكُمَا بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, and we are not going to believe in both of you. فَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ ائْتُونِي بِكُلِّ سَاحِرٍ عَلِيمٍ, and said Pharaoh, bring to me every expert magician, whosoever is knowledgeable, sorcerer, call him, gather them. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ السَّحْرَةُ قَالَ لَهُمْ مُوسَىٰ أَلْقُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ مُلْقُونَ. When the magicians and sorcerers came, Moses said to them, now you cast what you are to cast. فَلَمَّا أَلْقَوْا, when they cast, قَالَ مُوسَىٰ مَا جِئْتُمْ بِهِ السِّحْرُ. Musa said, what you have brought and what you have produced is real magic. It's magic, nothing more. إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَيُبْتِلُهُ. Very soon Allah will prove it to be false, prove it to be vain. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُصْلِحُ عَمَلَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not let the work of mischief mongers prosper. وَيُحِقُّ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ بِكَلِمَاتِهِ. And Allah will prove the truth to be true through His words. وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Although the guilty people might not like it, they might abhor it. فَمَا آمَنَ بِمُوسَىٰ إِلَّا ذُرِّيَّتِهِ مِنْ قَوْمِهِ عَلَىٰ خَوْفٍ مِّنْ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِمْ. This ayah is also one of the most misunderstood ayat of the Quran. Malayhim. Most of the people have translated as Malayhi. Malayhi is singular. Chiefs of Pharaoh. Malayhim, their chiefs. So this difference must be kept in mind. فَمَا مَنَ لِمُوسَىٰ إِلَّا ذُرِّيَّةٌ مِّن قَوْمِهِ. From his own nation also, nobody believed in Moses except a few youth of his community. And there's an important point to note. As I told you in the beginning of Surah At-Tawbah, that the advent of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was twofold. Al-Bi'satul Khassa, Al-Bi'satul Amma. Khassa for the idolaters or pagan Arabs of the Arabian Peninsula. Amma to the whole of humanity for all times to come till the doomsday. In the same manner, Moses was also sent with double, advent. He was a Rasul, full messenger towards Pharaoh and his chiefs. And also he was a Rasul to his own people. You will find in Surah Saf, وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَىٰ لِقَوْمِهِ لِمَ تُؤْذُونَنِي وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ. So there was two communities at that time, the Bani Israel, the children of Israel, which were oppressed, persecuted badly, and Pharaoh and his chiefs, they were the oppressors. So Musa was sent primarily to whom? This must be noted. His primary advent was towards Pharaoh wa Malai. To the Bani Israel it was secondary. And it was like the mission of a Nabi. That is why from them he never said, believe me, obey me, or you will be destroyed. This time, this is the way the messengers of Allah have been saying to the communities or the nations to whom they were sent. This he said to Pharaoh, but not to Bani Israel. Bani Israel, some of them believed in him, some of them helped him, some of them, at many a times, they didn't accept his command, refused. Just we have read in Surah Al-Ma'idah, the whole of the nation refused to go to war. But they were not said that now be ready, you will be exterminated. Was it said to them? No. So there is difference. His advent towards the Pharaoh and his chiefs, and his advent towards the Bani Israel. فَمَا آمَنَ لِمُوسَىٰ إِلَّا ذُرِّيَّةٌ مِّن قَوْمِهِ. From his own community, even from his own community, none believed in him except some youth. Now this is the importance of the youth. They must understand. For any revolutionary struggle, youth are the vanguard. They have the courage, the potential. The older people, they have to look to their, maslahat. What is to be done to my family and this and that, what will happen. But youth, they are relatively free. Whatever appeals them, they accept it. They are ready to sacrifice. Here also we find this word. إِلَّا ذُرِّيَّةٌ مِّن قَوْمِهِ. Some youth from his nation. عَلَى خَوْفٍ مِّن فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِمْ. Due to fear from Pharaoh and their own chiefs. The chiefs of Bani Israel. This is actually what should be understood and which has not been understood by most of the Mufassirin as well as the translators. Because they don't have this, structure, this political structure. What happened in India, for example? The Britishers were ruling us, but then among the Indians, they chose some people. They gave them the titles, Sir and Khan Bahadur. And now these people were more loyal to the Britishers than to their own nations. And the biggest example is of Qarun. Qarun was from Bani Israel, but he was much near to Pharaoh, and he was against Moses. So actually, the people who are ruled, who are slaves, who are given to slavery, their mentality changes. And people who are more cunning among them, They come near, they become more faithful, they serve the rulers, and they, get the benefits out of them. So they become an oppressor, medium for the nation, for their own nation. They become the agents of imperialism. Although they belong to the oppressed nation, but they become agents of the imperialists, of the governors, to suppress and control the governed people. So this is actually, Fir'aun wa malayhim, even their own chiefs, because they were faithful. They wanted to go and have a position in the court of Fir'aun. So they should get a title from him. Maybe, some jagir from him. An yaftinahum, because they feared that Fir'aun and their own chiefs will persecute them. فَإِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ لَعَالٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Verily, certainly, Fir'aun was tyrant on land. وَإِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الْمُسْرِفِينَ, and definitely he was from the extravagance. وَقَالَ مُوسَى يَا قَوْمِ إِن كُنتُمْ آمَنْتُمْ بِاللَّهِ فَعَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلُوا إِن كُنتُمْ مُسْلِمِينَ. And so said Musa, alayhi salatu wassalam, O my people, if you have belief in Allah. Now note, Rasul is not mentioned here. They were a community who believed in Allah. He's not mentioning himself here. If you have real belief in Allah, فَعَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلُوا, so you must have faith in Him, in kuntum muslimin, if you are real Muslims, if you have really submitted to Allah. فَقَالُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ تَوَكَّلْ, and they said, okay, we put our faith and trust in Allah. رَبَّنَا لَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Oh, our Lord, don't make us a vehicle of trial for these evildoers, transgressors. What does it mean? Fitnatan lil. You have given them the freedom to persecute us. You are trying them, but on us. But we call in Urdu takhta-e-mashq. Don't make us takhta-e-mashq for these evildoers. Don't make us, an article for their testing. You are testing them on us. So please, وَلَا تَجْعَلْنَا فِتْنَةً لِلْقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ وَنَجِّنَا بِرَحْمَتِكَ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. And deliver us by your mercy, through your mercy, from these disbelieving people. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى وَأَخِيهِ أَن تَبَوَّآ لِقَوْمِكُمَا بِمِصْرَ بُيُوتًا. And we sent the revelation towards Musa and his brother Harun, that you appoint for your nation, for your people, houses in Egypt. وَجْعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً. And you make those houses, بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً. They can be interpreted in two ways. I will let you know. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَبَشِّرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And establish salah and give glad tidings to the mu'mineen. This is just like the Baitul Arqam in Makkah. Muslims were not able to go to the courtyard of, Baitullah and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala openly over there in the beginning. So the Prophet had chosen and fixed and appointed Baitul Arqam, a house of a companion. There they used to gather. They used to hold meetings. There they could pray in congregation also. But the same instruction is being given here. It was given to Hazrat Musa because they couldn't pray to Allah openly under that tyrant Fir'aun. So we told them to appoint certain houses, certain dwellings. And then these dwellings, وَجْعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً. This qibla can have two meanings. Either places of congregation, because this man is also coming to this place, this man is also coming to this place, this person, this moment from this side is also, so this becomes qibla for them. So the place of congregation, which everybody is facing. And the second meaning is, you build your houses facing towards qibla. And this is actually a masterpiece of research done by Maulana Hamiduddin Farahi rahmatullah alayhi. He has written a book, Ar-Ra'yu Sahih fi man huwa zabih. And in that he has proved
that even for Bani Israel, the Qibla was Baitullah. He has proved from quotations from the Old Testament that whenever they went, wherever they went, they built, they fixed their tent of worship facing, directing the south. And to the south was this Baitullah. Because they were the progeny of Ibrahim, alayhi salatu wasalam. Ibrahim had built this house. How could it be possible? They didn't know this is the Qibla. Their tent of worship, Qurban Gah, they used to call it. Because there was more of sacrifice in their Sharia than of Salah. But the altar was to be as if, whosoever is presenting the sacrifice is facing south. And towards the south, it is from Palestine to Egypt. If you are facing towards south, it is the Qibla. It is the direction of the Baitullah. So this has been proved by him, Hamiduddin Farahi. This book he wrote in Arabic, Ar-Ra'yu Sahih fi man huwa Zabi, but it had been translated by Maulana Amir Hasan Islahi, one of his disciples, and it can be had from Pakistan. So this was the command given to them. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى وَأَخِيهِ أَن تَبَوَّآ لِقَوْمِكُمَا بِمِصْرَ بُيُوتًا وَاجْعَلُوا بُيُوتَكُمْ قِبْلَةً وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَبَشِّرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. This is just like the Baitul Arqam of Makkah. فقال موسى ربنا إنك آتيت فرعون وملأه زينة وأموالا في الحياة الدنيا ربنا ليضلوا عن سبيلك. And so said Musa, alayhi salatu wassalam, O our Lord, you have given Fir'aun and his chiefs the adornment and wealth in the life of this world, O our Lord, so that they should lead the people astray. They have the authority, they have the power, they have the wealth, they have the money, they have all the adornments of this life. And with these, they are leading people astray from your path. You have given all these things to them. رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ آتَيْتَ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَأَهُ زِينَةً وَأَمْوَالًا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا رَبَّنَا لِيُضِلُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِكَ. What is the outcome of all this? They are obstructing people from coming to your path. They are forcibly turning them away because they have the authority. They have money to buy people. They can buy any agents from our own nation. رَبَّنَا اطْمِسْ عَلَىٰ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. Now this is also the final stage. When the messenger becomes so fed up with the nation, to the people whom he has been sent, that now he is giving, this prayer for their azab. رَبَّنَا اطْمِسْ عَلَىٰ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. O our Lord, wipe away their riches. وَاشْدُدْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. And harden their hearts. فَلَا يُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّىٰ يَرَوُا الْعَذَابَ الْأَلِيمَ. So that they don't believe before the time of seeing of the painful torment. What does it mean? Now don't let them believe. If they come to believe now, they will be saved. They have persecuted us. They had done all the crimes. Now if you let them come to faith, they will be saved. Now you just put seals on their hearts. This is the prayer of the Prophet, of the Messenger. You put the seals on their heart, وَاشْدُدْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ, so that they don't now believe. They don't come to the faith, accepting the faith, before their eyes see this azab, this torment coming. قَالَ قَدْ أُجِيبَتْ دَعْوَتُكُمَا فَاسْتَقِيمَا وَلَا تَتَّبِعَانِّ سَبِيلَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah replied, the prayer of you two has been granted. We have granted the prayer of you, your prayer. قَالَ قَدْ أُجِيبَتْ دَعْوَتُكُمَا فَاسْتَقِيمَا. Now you stand firm. وَلَا تَتَّبِعَانِّ سَبِيلَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. And never follow the path of those who don't know. وَجَاوَزْنَا بِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ الْبَحْرَ. And we brought the children of Israel across the sea. فَأَتْبَعَهُمْ فِرْعَوْنُ وَجُنُودُهُ بَغْيًا وَعَدْوًا. Now, Fir'aun and his armies, they chased them, they followed them. Baghyan, rebelliously, وَعَدْوًا, and transgressively. حَتَّى إِذَا أَدْرَكَهُ الْغَرْقُ, till when the drowning overtook him. قَالَ آمَنْتُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا الَّذِي آمَنَتْ بِهِ بَنُو إِسْرَائِيلَ. Now we exclaim, oh, I come to believe in the Lord in whom the children of Israel believe. وَأَنَا مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and I surrender, I submit. I am one of the surrenderers. Alan, what now? وَقَدْ عَصَيْتَ قَبْلُ وَكُنْتَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. And you disobeyed. You have been disobeying before this. And you have been among the mischief mongers. فَالْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ. Now today we shall rescue your dead body. Your badan, your body will be rescued and saved. لِتَكُونَ لِمَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً, so that it becomes a sign for those who are behind you. وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ عَنْ آيَاتِنَا لَغَافِلُونَ. But you know, very many people from among humanity they don't pay any heed to our signs and revelations. وَلَقَدْ بَوَّأْنَا بِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ مُبَوَّعَ صِدْقٍ وَلَقَدْ بَوَّأْنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ مُبَوَّعَ صِدْقٍ وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. And we settled the children of Israel in a secure settlement. And we provided them good things, pure. فَمَا اخْتَلَفُوا حَتَّى جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ. And they didn't disagree till that knowledge came to them. Hatta here has been interpreted by most of the mufassirin as meaning illa min ba'de ma wa ma ikhtalafu illa min ba'de ma ja'ahumul ilm. This is how mostly these words come in the Quran, but this is a peculiar exception. But most of the mufassirin take it that hatta here means illa min ba'de ma ja'a. So what will be the text? فَمَا اخْتَلَفُوا إِلَّا مِن بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ. If they differed, it was only after that true knowledge and guidance had come to them. But it can have another meaning where we don't need to change the meaning of hatta here. وَمَا اخْتَلَفُوا, they didn't disagree about the advent of the last messenger. They were all agreed upon that the last messenger is to come. But when that true knowledge came to them, then now they are differing. They are agreed. They were waiting. The Christians were waiting. The Jews were waiting. And you know, because they were saying to the Aus and Khazraj, the people of Medina, that the last prophet is near to come. And we shall be with him, and when we shall fight you, then you will not be able to be victorious over us. So that was the knowledge that these people of Aus and Khazraj gathered from the Bani Israel. And that is why, you know, the 6 of them, they immediately accepted Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he met them in this Aqaba, the valley of Aqaba, in the 10th year, after he returned from Taif. They looked to each other, oh, he seems to be the same person about whom these Jews go on talking. So they were all agreed upon. وَمَا اخْتَلَفُوا, they didn't disagree about the advent of the last messenger of Allah, حَتَّى جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ يَقْضِي بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Now their Lord will give the verdict between them on the day of judgment, فِيمَا كَانُوا فِيهِ يَخْتَلِفُونَ, in whatever they had been differing. وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ. فَإِن كُنْتَ فِي شَكٍّ مِّمَّا أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ. Here also I disagree with some, or let me say most of the translators at least. They think here in these ayat, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being addressed. While I think that it is the reader or the listener, he is being addressed.
فَإِن كُنْتَ فِي شَكٍّ, if you are in a doubt, مِمَّا أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ, about what we have sent down. Now I could never accept it for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He could never be in doubt. So this is actually the people who are listening to these ayat, to these people to whom, this guidance was directed. If you are really in any doubt about what I have sent down, فَاسْأَلِ الَّذِينَ يَقْرَؤُونَ الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. So you can ask those people who were reading the book before you. There are the Jews, they live in Medina. You don't know about prophethood. It's something new for you. But you can go and ask them, inquire from them. لَقَدْ جَاءَكَ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. This total truth has come to you. فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُمْتَرِينَ. So you should never be among the doubters. وَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. And you should never be among those who denied and refuted the ayat of Allah, the revelations of Allah. فَتَكُونَ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Then you will become from among the losers. I don't accept that these words can be directed or addressed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ حَقَّتْ عَلَيْهِمْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Verily, those on whom the verdict of your Lord has already fallen, already come. The seal on their heart has already been set by your Lord. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ حَقَّتْ عَلَيْهِمْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. They are not going to believe. وَلَوْ جَاءَتْهُمْ كُلُّ آيَةٍ. Although all the signs might come to them, never think that if the signs and miracles are shown to them, they will come to believe. حَتَّى يَرَوُا الْعَذَابَ الْأَلِيمَ. Only if there is any, chance, when they see the torment with their own eyes, then they will come to believe, just as Fir'aun, believed when, drowning had overcome him. فَلَوْلَا كَانَتْ قَرْيَةٌ آمَنَتْ. Here, again the verse should be understood. Ba'da is ra'atil azab. Why was not there any township? Lawla kanat qaryatun amanat fanafaha imanuha. So that its iman would have benefited it. Illa qawma Yunus. Except the people of Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam. What does it mean? After the signs of the torment start, now the gates of Tawbah, repentance are closed. This is the law. After the signs of death start, for an individual, the gates of Tawbah, gates of repentance are closed. In the same way, when to the nation or the community to whom a messenger was sent, and they rejected, denied, belied. And now when the signs of the torment, of the punishment started, they said, "Whoa, we believe." Now it was not acceptable. Except for one. There is an exception. And that's the people of Jonah. Hazrat Yunus alayhi salatu wasalam. I will give you the answer why. Why this exception? There should be some exception. If exception is there, there must be some reason for it. But this is the meaning of the ayah. فَلَوْلَا كَانَتْ قَرْيَةٌ آمَنَتْ. But here you should think that the words are understood. فَلَوْلَا كَانَتْ قَرْيَةٌ آمَنَتْ بَعْدَ إِذْرَاتِ الْعَذَابِ فَنَفَاهَا إِيمَانُهَا. This has never been the case that a nation, if it accepted the faith after seeing the signs of the punishment, فَنَفَاهَا إِيمَانُهَا, and its iman, its believing, would have benefited him. No, there was never. Illa qawma Yunus, except the people of Yunus. Lamma amanu, when they believed, they repented, kashafna anhum azab al-khizy. We removed from them the chastisement of degradation and humiliation, fil hayat ad-dunya, in the life of this world. Wa matta'nahum ilahin, and we provided them, and we gave them a fresh lease of existence for a fixed period of time. Now, what was the reason? We have read the ayah in the beginning of Surah Al-A'raf, فَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And I explained at that time that this trio, Allah sends the message
to a nation through the messenger. If the messenger fulfills his duty, the all responsibility goes to the people. If somehow the messenger fails to fulfill the duty, the people get a credit. Just like the modern accounting. For each entry, there must be a corresponding entry. For each credit, a debit, corresponding debit. For each debit, a corresponding credit. So now there was a discredit to Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam. Why? He left his people without the express permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for this he was punished. He was swallowed by the fish, the big fish. Maybe some whale. Then vomited on the coast. وَهُوَ سَقِيمٌ. And he begged. He begged the pardon of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. This was the mistake he committed. So the discredit became a credit for the nation. Because your messenger left you earlier, then we had allowed him to leave. Our express permission had not come. You must have read in the Surah, that the Prophet ﷺ, he allowed most of the Muslims to go to Medina, to Yasrib. But he was withholding himself, not going. He was waiting for the express permission of Allah to leave. And this is always. The executive officers can't leave their place of duty without express permission. They are the executives. They have to control the things here. They can't go. They can't leave. Subordinates can go. But the executives, they can't leave. So the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they cannot leave their nations without the express permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was, a mistake. Done out of absolutely sincerity, faithfulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He became very much outraged. Why these people are not accepting? They are doomed. Okay, I'm going. Mughaziban. Izzahaba mughaziban. But this ghazab was against not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ma'azallah. This ghazab was against the nation. They are doomed. And I'm going. But the express permission had not come. So this is the reason. But on this, I infer, we can also hope to have this concession. Why? Because to us today, no infallible and innocent messenger of Allah is preaching. So we can claim a concession from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just as you gave a concession to the people of Yunus, alayhi salatu wassalam. But this is my idea. You may agree or disagree. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَآمَنَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا. And had your Rabb decreed or decided, all would have come to believe. All of them, كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا. They are all under our control. According to a saying of the Prophet, the hearts of all human beings are within the two fingers, between the two fingers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can turn them in whichever direction he wants. So actually we can do it. But we are testing the people. We are seeing who wants to be guided, who doesn't want to be guided. Who wants to be guided, we shall guide them. Who don't want, well, we shall let them go their way. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَآمَنَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا أَفَأَنْتَ تُكْرِهُ النَّاسَ حَتَّى يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. So will you, O Muhammad, compel people till they become real Muslims, they become Muslims and Mu'mins? There is no ikrah fi din. And we have in Surah Al-Baqarah, la ikrah fi din. At individual basis, full liberty. You are free to believe and you are free to not believe. Imma shakiram wa imma kufura. You can take any way. Had there been no choice, freedom of choice, there couldn't be any question of any reward or any punishment for that matter. So at individual basis, no compulsion, no coercion. But the system, political, socio-economic system, that is a different thing. If the Muslims have power, they must change it. And they must try to gather power, أَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ, to be able to change this system. and establish the rule of Allah. But then, all the non-Muslims will be allowed. If they want to accept Islam, okay, welcome. We are ready to embrace. But if you don't, you can remain as Jews, as Christians, as Hindus, as Buddhists, etc. وَمَا كَانَ لِنَفْسٍ أَن تُؤْمِنَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. And it was not possible for any soul to have faith except with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I told you there can be nothing. I cannot lift this without the permission of Allah. So how can one believe? But I intended to lift it. The permission came from Allah. I can say I lifted, and I can say Allah made me to lift it. So both these things mean the same. مَا كَانَ النَّفْسُ أَن تُؤْمِنَ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ وَيَجْعَلُ الرِّجْسَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. And Allah puts filth, impurities on those people, abominations on those people who don't use their intellect. قُلْ انظُرُوا مَاذَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Say to them, now look, what is there in all the heavens and the earth? وَمَا تُغْنِ الْآيَاتُ وَالنُّذُرُ عَنْ قَوْمٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. And all these signs of ours, إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, these are all signs, divine signs. وَالنُّذُرُ, and all the warners. عَنْ قَوْمٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, they will not be of any avail to those people who don't want to believe. فَهَلْ يَنْتَظِرُونَ إِلَّا مِثْلَ أَيَّامِ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. So what are they waiting for except the days like the days of the ancient people who were before them? You are waiting for the days like the days of Hud, like the days of Saleh, the nation of Saleh, the nation of Hud, the people of Nuh. فَهَلْ يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا مِثْلَ أَيَّامِ الَّذِينَ خَلَوْا مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. And these days are termed in Quran in another place, Ayyamillah. فَذَكِّرْهُمْ بِأَيَّامِ. Remind them, referring to the days of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The day when the whole of the nation of Nuh was drowned. The days when whole of the nation of Ad was finished, done away with. The days when whole of the nation of Samud, so strong a nation, was exterminated. Ayyamullah. قُلْ فَانْتَظِرُوا إِنِّي مَعَكُمْ مِنَ الْمُنْتَظِرِينَ. Say, okay, if you want to wait, go on waiting. I am also waiting with you. I am also among the waiters. ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كَذَلِكَ. And then we shall save and deliver our messengers and those who come to believe. In the same way in which we delivered Nuh and his companions, Hud and his companions, Saleh and his companions, Lut and his family, Shu'aib and his companions, Moses and Bani Israel. ثُمَّ نُنَجِّي رُسُلَنَا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كَذَلِكَ حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. This is an obligatory thing upon us, obligatory, that we will deliver and save the people who come to believe. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِن كُنتُمْ فِي شَكٍّ مِّن دِينِي. Say to them, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, these are the concluding ayat of this surah. If you are in some doubt about my deen, you are compelling me to come back from this deen, to come to your folds again, to come to the beliefs and dogmas of the forefathers. So and it means you are still in doubt about me. That maybe that I accept your compulsion or your coercion. I give in. Maybe I, turn my back to what I have been saying for the 10 years. In kuntum fi shakkin min dini. If you are harboring even the slightest doubts about my deen, fala abudu alladhina ta'buduna min dunillah. I am not going to worship those whom you are worshipping instead of Allah. Walakin abudu Allah alladhi yatawaffakum. I will go on worshipping and obeying Allah, who will take possession of your souls, who will put you to death. وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And I have been commanded to be among the believers. وَأَنْ أَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا. And, O Prophet, set your face steadfast for the religion, for the deen, as an upright man of pure faith, Hanif.
وَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And you shouldn't be from among the associators, those who associate others with Allah. Now these ayat can be addressed to the Prophet also and to any listener or reader. They are general. وَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا يَا أَيُّهَا السَّامِعُ, or وَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا يَا أَيُّهَا النَّبِيُّ. These two both, they are absolutely equal. وَلَا تَدْعُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُكَ وَلَا يَضُرُّكَ. This again is for the Sami' and the listener and the reader. And don't pray and don't call upon those who cannot benefit you, who cannot do you any harm, except Allah. فَإِنْ فَعَلْتَ فَإِنَّكَ إِذًا مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. If you do that, you will also be from among the evildoers. وَإِنْ يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. And if Allah afflicts you with some hurt, nobody can remove it except Him. وَإِنْ يُرِدْكَ بِخَيْرٍ فَلَا رَادَّ لِفَضْلِهِ. In the same way, if He intends for you something good, pleasant, then nobody can turn back or obstruct His bounty. يُصِيبُ بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ. He gives and bestows His bounty on whomsoever He likes from among His bondsmen. وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. And definitely, He is Al-Ghafur, the forgiving, Ar-Rahim, the merciful. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ قَدْ جَاءَكُمُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. Say, O mankind, the total truth has come to you from your Lord. فَمَنِ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ. So whosoever takes to the right path, he does so in his own interest, to his own benefit. وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَإِنَّمَا يَدِلُّ عَلَيْهَا. And who goes astray, well, he is doing it against his own self. He is putting his own self into loss and into doom. وَمَا أَنَا عَلَيْكُمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. I am not a ward, or I am not a guardian over you. I am not responsible about you. وَاتَّبِعْ مَا يُوحَىٰ إِلَيْكَ. The last verse to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And follow whatever is being revealed to you. Wasbir. And persevere. Have patience. Hatta yahkum Allah. Until Allah gives His command, His decision, His all judgment. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. And definitely He is the best of the judges.